he said to both Dave and I, "Are you guys all right?" I mean, he was worried about us. Imagine that. I mean, he's worried about us. Now, when I think back on that, it makes my heart heavy.
The sky is still open, and runway 19 still waits. But the most famous landing here is still the one that never happened.
New York Yankees and sports fans everywhere suffered a great loss tonight.
In mourning tonight for one of its
Munson,
finest
along with
stars.
2 other passengers, was practicing takeoffs.
New York
and
Yankees
landings.
catcher Thurman Munson was killed today in the crash of a small airplane at the Akron-Canton Airport in Ohio.
The nation mourned him because the nation knew him. Thurman Munson's career is best remembered in 4 words: captain of the Yankees, the first captain since Lou Gehrig, unpolished, unapologetic, a blend of talent and will.
Wilson going way back, he'll not get to it, it's holy cow! Thurman Munson coming through in the clutch.
You wanted him up there with the game on the line. He was going to give you a good professional at bat, and he wanted to be up there with the game on the line, which is probably the most important thing.
Munson's home was Canton, Ohio, with his wife Diana and their 3 children. To close the distance between family and career, he developed a new passion: airplanes.
You just go up there and you enjoy yourself. You have to be on your toes, but it's just a kind of relaxation where you spend a lot of time by yourself, and I need that. I also need to get home a lot, so I love to fly.
August 2nd, 1979, Akron-Canton Airport. By chance, Munson met his friend and fellow pilot Jerry Anderson and flight instructor David Hall and showed them N-15NY, his new Citation twin-engine jet, emblazoned with his Yankee number.
Thurman said, "Hey, you guys want to go for a ride? We're going to want to take it around the pattern. I need to check a few things out."
3:41 p.m. Munson, cleared for takeoff on runway 23, flew a left traffic pattern. Over the next 15 minutes, he performed 3 practice landings and takeoffs. After the 3rd takeoff, the tower advised Munson to shift to a right traffic pattern for a landing on runway 19. But this approach was different. The plane dropped to roughly 500 feet above the ground. Munson lowered the landing gear late, which only steepened the descent.
I realized that this descent was probably not going to be arrested and that we would probably crash short of the runway.
Anderson was right. 4:02 p.m., the plane struck ground.
I felt the fuselage just taking the pounding, boom, 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 boom. And I realized as we came to a stop that I was still intact. I mean, unbelievable as it might seem, I thought, my God, I have survived this. And I looked up to the cockpit and David was moving and Thurman's head was twisted a little bit. And I thought, this is unbelievable.
After skidding through a field and slamming into a large tree stump, the plane came to rest atop a 2-lane road 600 feet short of runway 19. Munson's legs were pinned. He was bloody, but conscious.
Thurman mumbled to us, he said, "Are you guys okay?" At this point, he says, "Are you guys okay?" And we said, "Yeah." I don't remember whether David said it or I said it, but one of us said, "How about you?" And he said, "I don't know, I can't move. I can't move."
Those were the final words of Thurman Munson's life. But of course, Anderson did not know it.
I, at that point, felt we're going to get him out of there. We're just going to haul him out. I mean, it's no big deal. There's 2 of us, there's 1 of him. We're going to drag him right through there. But what I quickly realized was when the flames came into the cockpit and started to catch fire in there and the black smoke was so overtaking, we couldn't really breathe.
Anderson and the other passenger, David Hall, could not free Munson as he lost consciousness. The impact jammed the door closest to Munson. The emergency exit door on the opposite side of the plane was the only way out.
The hard part of that, of course, is that There was a point in time that I knew I was going to leave that airplane and that my friend was not. And that was a terrible feeling.
Anderson and Hall escaped, diving into a burning puddle of fuel, and then were rushed to the hospital with severe burns. Munson, trapped in the plane, his neck broken from the crash impact, overcome by heat and smoke, was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 32 years old.
I said he was a friend. That's the important thing. He was a friend, a good friend.
Her world shattered. A mother of 3 young children, Diana Munson was suddenly a widow at 31.
You know, the fact that Thurman was gone and that the 2 other fellows were in an airplane but they were still here seemed impossible for me to believe, because Thurman always seemed bigger than life to me.
Coping with her own grief, she sought out the survivors of the crash at the hospital to check on their condition and ease their burden.
I wanted them to know that I wasn't placing blame and that I was not sitting in judgment in any way, because I knew they had to go on with their lives too.
It was so hard to look her in the eye and say, you know, Diana, we did what we could to get Thurman out of there, and we just couldn't do it. And that was tough, Tom. That was really tough.
Almighty Lord, we pause to pray for Thurman Munson, our brother and your faithful son. We offer a moment of silent prayer in his memory.
So many remember who died here. Few remember who lived. The stump is gone. Trees have been cleared. There is no memorial. But there are memories of Thurman Munson's final moments and his dying concern for his friends.
He said to both Dave and I, "Are you guys all right?" I mean, he was worried about us. Imagine that. I mean, he's worried about us. Now, when I think back on that, it makes my heart heavy.
The official report on the crash says Munson didn't maintain sufficient airspeed for landing and lowered the landing gear too late. But what Jerry Anderson recalls most are not the mistakes, but the efforts of a pilot and a friend who did not give up.
Thurman was doing everything possible as a pilot to put that aircraft on the ground safely. He did what he was trained to do. He had full throttles. He was trying to accelerate and get the airplane climbing again. That day it was not to be, though. It was simply not to be.